Hey guys, this is your boy Markcoos and welcome back to Marcus's Reign at Arsenal episode number 20, and the first match in this episode will be Arsenal versus Aston Villa. Now, as you can see, I'm coming up to 500 subscribers, and if you haven't already, checked out the description below. There is a link to a video called Ask Me Some Questions, and basically I just want you to ask me some questions so I can answer them in a Q&A video for 500 subscribers /200th video. So, yes. So Arsenal versus Aston Villa. I play quite a strong team, if I can remember correctly. No, not a strong team at all. I played quite a weak team because it was after a national match. And as you see, I've got Icefeld, Jordi Alba, Cazorla, Higuain, and Torres up front. And like Aston Villa, of course, they play a very good team like Darren Bent, Nzogbia, and Agbon Lahore. But this match, well, it was pretty basic. I was expected to win it because, of course, it is Aston Villa. They're not one of the best squads. But with my messed up team, Higuain still gets a couple of shots away. Higuain's been an absolute revelation. But see, after that tackle by Thomas Vermaelen in the 34th minute, Jordi Alba gets here to Cazorla on the ball, and he ends up just running, passes it to Torres. Torres passes it to Chamberlain. Chamberlain low crosses it into Higuain, who just pops it into the back of the net for must be about his 15th goal of the season already, because he's just absolutely beast. He's just too good. He's just too good, okay? He's just, maybe, he's going to do a Giroud and probably score 40 goals this season because of that. But in the 40th minute, Nzogbia gets past Shaw, ends up crossing it in for Darren Bent to score a diving header against me. And to be fair, it was a pretty good crossing, but it wasn't really necessary for my Nzogbia, but nothing I can do about that. But at half time, it's 1-0. They've only had one shot. I've had 6-3 on target. I've had 56% possession. And at half time, I decided to change things. I take off Cazorla and bring in David Villa. I moved David Villa to right mid. I think he moved him to right midfield event. I think I just moved him in midfield. But 46 minutes on the clock. From the corner kick, the Hertfeld heads it to David Villa, who's he's not got always pace, but he's still quite a fast player. They really can't catch him. Westwood gets close, still can't catch him. He ends up passing it through to Fernando Torres, and Torres on the ball here, just on the right hand side. And he ends up coming back, passes it to David Villa. David Villa passes it to Higuain. Higuain gets past, I think it's Vlar. And look at that forward finish from Higuain into the bottom corner with his left foot. And like I'm saying, his shot accuracy is 96. Basically, any shot you get on target, he will most likely score it. And I'm happy, as you can see. But in the 61st minute here, I try to get the ball through to Higuain again. Icefeld eventually gets it back, gives it to Torres. Torres chips it through, and look at this four shot from Higuain. I mean, look at that. For a half volley. Insane. I mean, he doesn't even celebrate. He's just yeah, I'll just jump up and I'll just run back to my position. So 3-1, hat-trick for Higuain, his first hat-trick for the club in his first season. I mean, that's pretty beast. I mean, it's only him maybe about his 12th game. I mean, that's how beast is. I mean, I've spent 4 episodes in this season, and the first episode wasn't even, I played 1 game. I mean, what the hell. But in the basically the last minutes of the match, Fernando Torres actually ends up scoring, as you can see, with his left foot. Pretty good finish, pass given into the bottom corner. And 4-1 is the final result because I'm just so beast. But yeah, this episode contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches, I think. But as you can see, I had 14 shots, 8 on target. I restricted them to only 1 shot throughout the whole match, which is pretty good. And Higuain got an 8.0 rating, which is pretty beast. From the other results, Liverpool beat West Brom, I can't even read that, it's just so goddamn fast. So Chelsea, I beat Cardiff, and I'm top of the table by basically 3 points. Me, Everton, and Man United are joint first. Into the Champions League, Arsenal versus Parma, and after beating PSG in the first game 3-2, I was expecting not a difficult game because Parma aren't that difficult really. I don't actually understand how they even got to the Champions League, to be fair. But it's at the Emirates, and of course the Champions League music is blaring out, but as you go through the squads, I don't actually recognise anyone except for that Greek guy on the right hand side. That was what's his name? Ninnis. I think it's Ninnis. Someone's Ninnis. I think it's Sotiris Ninnis or something. He's pretty good in real life. He's good in Football Manager, I know that for a fact, but pretty good in real life. There's Jack Wilshere back. Basically, I played, I think, my strongest team except for, I think Vermaelen didn't play for the Hertfeld. I think, yeah, the Hertfeld played because Vermaelen just didn't want to. No, it's Koscielny didn't want to play. Yeah, there's the Hertfeld there. Olivier Giroud back in the starting lineup, Ozil as well. And, I mean, I'm playing my strongest team, so I'm expected, of course, to win these matches. But, like I'm saying, Parma, I don't even understand how they're even there. But fair enough. They're in the Champions League, and it's basically going to be me and PSG who qualify. I don't see PSG not qualifying for the Champions League, but as you see, the Nielsen plays for Parma now, so it's a sort of reunion for the Nielsen. He's always a pretty poor player in my opinion, and Arsene Wenger really should never have signed him whenever he did. But in the 10th minute, Royce on the ball here passes a great through ball through to Olivier Giroud, and usually Giroud would score that. Don't know what I did there, but somehow he missed, and I was like, no. Into the 40th minute, Ozil on the ball. Ozil, I'm not really sure about yet, but I mean he did hit the post, and yeah, that was really about it. At half time, it's 0-0, and I've had 10 shots, 4 on target. I only really showed, what, 2 shots? So at halftime I decided to change things a bit. I move Royce and Ozil out wider and put Higuain directly behind what's his name? Behind Giroud, and look at that for a shot from Higuain, but he ends up hitting the post. But from it, basically, Ozil ends up getting it before it goes out of play. He ends up crossing it in. Royce gets his head on it and he heads it just wide. But into the 54th minute, Higuain on the ball passes it to Olivier Giroud. Giroud passes it to Wilshere. Wilshere will pass it back to Olivier Giroud. Giroud takes a shot, and again another good save from the goalkeeper. So, like, basically, like a minute after that, I decided, oh, I'll go make a couple changes. I move David Villa on for Olivier Giroud, but ends up Higuain actually gets the ball here. He shoots, he scores, and it was an absolute beast shot. But look at this, okay? I'm just gonna tell you something really cool is coming up, which I just edited in myself. It's absolutely retarded. I mean, look at this, okay? This is a nice replay of the goal, and it seems that Higuain is starting to power up. What is he doing? Oh, he's powering up. Higuain's powering up. Oh god, he's powering up. He's going Super Saiyan. Holy crap, Higuain is now officially a Super Saiyan. Well. Anyway, after that, I changed a couple of things. I moved David Villa out to the left midfield, moved Ozil directly behind Higuain, and we're back to the lands of normality. So, no Super Saiyan Higuain. It only happens every once in a while. But here, Ozil on the ball, 86th minute, passes to Higuain. Higuain passes it to David Villa, and David Villa pops into the back of the net. Nice near post finish into the top corner in the 87th minute to basically just secure the lead and secure the win for Arsenal. I mean, it was an absolute beast shot from David Villa, to be fair. He hits it straight into the top corner on the goalkeeper's side. I mean, that is pretty good. Like, he's not the fastest anymore. He's not particularly the best passer, but his shot is just insane. His shot power isn't even that high. It's just he's just so good at, like, he's so accurate for shots. But from that, as you see, we take off Higuain and Ozil for Randall and Torres. Randall for his Champions League debut, Torres for just a Champions League debut. And after missing that shot with, I think it's Higuain, whistle blows, 2-0 the final score, and we dominated. As you'll see, they only had 2 shots, 0 on target. I had 22, 10 on target, 59% possession, and I think Higuain man of the match again. So that's 2 matches to Higuain man of the matches. But as you see, Panathinaikos got beat by PSG 2-1. And I'm still top of the table with 6 points, and PSG have 3 and Parma have 3. So it's going between Parma and PSG probably for the second spot in the Champions League group. But into the the third game out of 4. Yeah, I said 5 earlier on. It's actually only 4. But yeah, Arsenal v Stoke. And last season, Stoke were my whipping boys. I beat them, must have been about 22-1 maybe, like overall on an aggregate scoreline. But I played my strongest team: Adler, Koscielny, Sergio Ramos, Gibbs, Cleverley, Jenkins, and Pablo. Pablo is not my strongest player. I played Pablo. I wanted to just change things up a bit, so I don't think I actually started with Higuain in this match, if I'm correct. I ended up playing with Royce or David Villa up front, and it didn't really work. It didn't work at all. Like, you'll see what I'm talking about. I mean, here Pablo's on the ball, plays it through to, I think it's Giroud, and Giroud passes it through to Royce. Royce gets a shot when he scores. I mean, his shot power is just insane, so I'm expecting goals every single time he takes a shot. Like, if he's one-on-one with the goalie and I just power shoot it, it should go in. But, yeah, I did play with Giroud up top. I didn't play Higuain, I was resting him, and it really just backfired. You'll see what I'm talking about. Because at half-time, it's 1-0, and, like, 1-0 is a pretty good result against Stoke so far. And we've only had 4 shots to 3 on target. I mean, they've had 4 shots, 1 on target. They actually have more possession than me. Like, what the hell? Into the 46th minute, Crouch runs down the right hand side. Ramos can't really stop him. He ends up crossing it in, and Koscielny own goals it. And I was just like, what the hell? I mean, every once in a while he does it in real life, and it's quite annoying. but I mean, he doesn't really do it in the game. But I mean, look at that, that's a great header from the back of his head and hits it into the goal. But in the 51st minute, Croucher ends up sweating it to Jonathan Walters, who pops it into the back of the net. And I was like, okay, I think it's time for Super Saiyan Higuain to come on, Big Super Saiyan Higuain. So Higuain comes on for Royce and Jenkinson comes off for Vermaelen. I put 3 at the back and I was going for it, as you can see. I mean, I didn't really need a win. It wasn't really necessary because I'm sure I can beat the likes of Manchester United and Everton. It's just, Everton beat me earlier in the season, so maybe I couldn't. But as you see here, it ends up benefiting me because Higuain gets the ball in the 59th minute, and look at that for a strike from Super Saiyan Higuain, and he pops it into the back of the net for 2-2 draw, or 2-2 draw, 2-2 finish, 2-2's nah. But yes, 2-2's nah, and look at that for a great shot from Higuain. I mean, it is an absolute power shot. And basically in the 62nd minute, they play the ball through to Jonathan Walters. Koscielny I'm just like so bad with him for some ridiculous reason, and he just hits it just wide. I was like, right, okay, I need to start paying attention. But Koscielny ends up running, trying to stop Jonathan Walters. Doesn't stop him. He ends up putting it past Adler, and Stoke actually go ahead 3-2 with like, I think it was like 15 minutes on the clock, and I was like, I was sort of like feeling the pressure. So come to the 80th minute of the match, pass the ball to Higuain. Higuain passes to Ozil. Ozil through to Olivier Giroud, and as Giroud again gets his shot saved, but from the corner kick ends up hitting it in. And who's that? Oh, it's Olivier Giroud. Olivier Giroud scores from a header, and he's scored quite a lot of headers this year so far because of the fact that I think the game sort of got accustomed to the fact that he doesn't score headers. He didn't score headers before, but he just kept scoring one-on-one opportunities. So from that, going 3-0, and then literally the last minutes of the match, like the 84th minute, Ozil gets played through on goal from Wilshere, and look at that for a finish from Ozil past the goalkeeper into the back of the net. So final score basically is 4-3. And I mean, I absolutely dominated them, so maybe I did deserve to win. But I mean, bloody hell, I didn't expect Stoke to actually give me a pretty good game. Like, it just seems the game's really just upped itself in terms of like being much more difficult. But as you can see, I had 14 shots, 8 on target, so maybe I did deserve to win. But Olivier Giroud man of the match, Higuain with a 7.0 rating. I mean, that's pretty insane. Norwich beat Sunderland, Chelsea beat West Brom, Tottenham beat Wigan. Normal sort of results. All these 1-0s, 2-0s, 2-1s, 3-1s, and all that sort of stuff. But on to the other results. Come on. Aston Villa actually beat Manchester United 1-0, and Everton drew Man City 2-2, and West Ham got beat by QPR 3-2. So a lot of big things happening, and I'm still top of the table, 2 points clear of Everton, 3 points clear of Chelsea and Manchester United. So into the last match of the episode, it's the first round of the FA Cup, Arsenal versus Fulham, and this match, again, I underestimate the opposition, which is a bit of my downfall, really. It's what I'm quite susceptible to. But as you see, I played quite a weaker team, like Sevilla, Cazorla, Chamberlain, Cleverley, Ramsey, Jenkinson, Shaw, Vermaelen, Mangala and Adler, but I did play Higuain because he's just an absolute beast. Fulham played with Somogi, never heard of him, Gaigera, Sandros, Hughes, Reater, Hangland played a defence midfield role, it was a bit weird, as well as Berbatov starting up front, so I was always going to be like under a bit of pressure. In the 11th minute of the match, Berbatov's about to get a shot away, Mangala can't stop him, but Vermaelen can. I ended up giving it's not a penalty, but a free kick right on the edge of the box, and I was like, oh crap, they usually put these in, like, really, but it was Kieran Richardson. I was like, he's now going to put it in, and what happens? He actually pops it right into the top corner, and I was like, oh god damn it. I mean, free kicks, so OP, but it was a pretty good free kick, to be fair. In the 32nd minute here, Cazorla on the ball, plays it through to Higuain, I'm like, Higuain, comes inside, gets a shot away, and he scores again. And like, so he just scores so many similar goals because his ball control is just amazing. His shot is just so overpowered. Shot is just powered like hell. And then in the 37th minute, I lose the ball here. It ends up getting eventually passed through from Brian Ruiz to Berbatov, who rounds Mangala, gets his shot away, and ends up scoring. And I was like literally, really? I mean, really? Like, any shot which a striker rated 80 and more takes, it will most likely go in. It's a bit ridiculous, but as you can see, they're on the attack again, I end up intercepting it with Jenkinson, try and pass it away, can't pass it away, but the referee blows half time. And it's 2-1 to Fulham at half time, and I was like, oh god, I really need to improve my game. I mean, I've had 7 shots here on target, and they've had 3 on 3. But at half time, I decided to make a couple of changes, bring in Wilshere and Olivier Giroud for Cleverly and David Villa, and it works. But as you see, Cazorla on the ball here passes a great through ball through to Olivier Giroud. Giroud gets his shot away, and he actually scores basically a 1-on-1. And I was really happy that he did, because of the fact that, I mean, Jesus Christ, he hardly scores nowadays compared to Higuain, his partner in crime, up top for Arsenal. But 67th minute, passes it to Higuain, and Higuain, okay, this is how powerful his shot is. I mean, look at that. It hits the goalie makes a save, and it goes through his hands. He's just so, his shot's just too overpowered. It's so annoying. Super Saiyan Higuain scores again. I mean, Jesus Christ, look at that for a shot. It's a great shot. Keeper just fumbles it completely. But in the 69th minute, Higuain, Berbatov ends up running on the right hand side. Eventually gets a corner kick, which they actually score from. Berbatov eventually gets it headed back to him. No, hits back to him from Hughes. And look at that for a finish from Dimitar Berbatov into the top corner of the goal. So 3-3, coming up to the last minutes of the match. And as it's a cup match, it would have went to penalties, and I was like, I'm not having penalties. So 76th minute here, Wilshere actually hits the bar from about 20 to 30 yards out. 88th minute, I end up actually hitting, like nearly scoring with Santi Cazorla, but into the last minutes of the match, Higuain plays a great through ball through to Olivier Giroud, and like I was saying, when he's one-on-one of the goalie, he usually wouldn't score in the second season, but he actually scores 2 in one game, which is pretty impressive. So, 2 goals today for Olivier Giroud, 4-3 on the final result, and we're through to the next round of the FA Cup. So they had 5 shots, 5 on target, had 16 for 8, 53% possession, 78 pass completion, and Higuain man of the match. I mean, that's out of the 4 matches today, 3 of them Higuain's been man of the match. But some shocking results. Birmingham beat Blackpool, QPR beat Hull, but the big shocking one is Blackburn Rovers actually beat Manchester United, and Liverpool got beat by Middlesbrough. So the teams remaining are Man City, Norwich, Arsenal, Birmingham, QPR, Stoke, Tottenham, Bolton, Newcastle, Swansea, Middlesbrough, Cardiff, Chelsea, Leicester, Blackburn, and Southampton. So if you have enjoyed this episode of Markcoos' reign at Arsenal, subscribe to my channel for more, and catch you.